with the person based on what they like, based on like experiencing what that person is feeling. Telepathy will tell you, people don't need to tell you anything. As long as you have your senses attuned to it, you just pick it up.
Yeah.
When was the first time you knew you were like this?
I feel like when I was younger, my mom used to tell me like, whatever money my dad gives me, I go back to give her, that she needs it. I always do that often when I was younger. Whenever my dad give us money, because when we were younger, my parents separated.
Okay.
So sometimes I go to my dad's house, sometimes I stay with my mom. So whenever I go to my dad's place and I come back with money, I give to my mom and tell her even my clothes, can she wear it? That's what she tells me that. I used to ask her, can she wear my clothes? I dash her. So I feel like since I was young, I have been like that. And I'm just trying to make it a purpose in my life, a reason for living. Yeah, so I feel like since I was younger, I used to be like that.
Yeah.
You understand that? Like, I mean, I just share my money around. Sometimes I don't eat. I try to like share my things, everybody. I just want to see people happy. And I feel like that's my purpose.
And what does that joy, that happiness on their face, what does it do for you?
Most times I feel fulfilled. I mean, I feel fulfilled. I feel like I've accomplished something. It feels like an achievement to me. Like, okay, I've made something happen today, and I'm okay with it. So there's this extraterrestrial joy I get from it.
And going through, so I'm just trying to understand this. Just moving through the world with your hand open, caring about the next guy more than yourself, giving all of that. Are there points when you've not been driven to do this? And have there been any moment when you've not been driven?
I personally, I feel at some point I was being extra. I was overwhelmed with it. You understand? But I mean, I to every disappointment, there's always this blessing. And if I do this thing and someone else fuck up or do something, I mean, I have a reason to move on just because it is part of me, just because it gives me joy. So I'm not waiting for your reaction or your feedback or what I'm getting back from what I'm doing for you. I'm not waiting for the return. So I'm not doing it for returns. Okay, so whatever it is, I just do it and move on. I'm not waiting for returns.
And I have been an empath for growing up. Now I'm less. Maybe I have a lot of empathy, but I've learned to not act out on a lot of them. Because growing up, I believed in angels. I believed everything was good. Everybody needed to be helped. That I can carry the weight of the world on my back. And so sometimes it's like, on a personal level, it's seeing your friends suffer and wanting to like help, or seeing your friend go through something and trying to like help them in any way that you can, whether it's talking to them or sharing your things. And then I moved to Lagos. And bro,
it was crazy.
It was crazy. Because when I moved to Lagos,
a lot of people to help.
Yeah. Apart from a lot of people to help, when I landed in Lagos, I landed in Ojueleba.
Okay.
And so how could survive? And I was on the street.
Yeah.
So surviving in the street with your hand open like that, that's a recipe for disaster.
Yeah, definitely. You came to Lagos. I was born in Lagos.
Oh yeah, true.
So that's the difference. I grew up in this chaos, in this Juju Wala and everything.
Yeah.
So I've been able to know like possibly who to help, and who not to bother about. And if at all I want to help, I'm not waiting for return, as that's the key of helping. That's the key of supporting someone. Because if you're supporting someone for return, then personally, I feel like spiritually, you are breaking the rules of the universe, because you have to give and not look back. So whatever you can give and not look back is what you should give, and that's the rule.
I like this. I like this conversation because I'm trying to learn how being generous plays out in your life. Because you're considered. But before I go into how that intersects with celebrity life.
Yeah.
When you give back without return,
Mm-hmm.
when you give without putting an expectation on a person,
Mm-hmm.
doesn't that contradict itself in a way? Think about this now. Think about
Okay.
this. You have a guy who needs help with something. Maybe he needs money to start a business, or he needs you to introduce him to someone
Mm-hmm.
to help his career move forward.
Mm-hmm.
And then when you give that person that thing, you might not be expecting material help,
Mm-hmm.
but you expect that person to make use of what you have provided well.
Yes.
So it might not be a return, but it comes with an expectation.
Yeah. Yeah. Very well understood. And I will say this: whatever it is the person has done with your help is his return.
Hmm.
Is his return.
True.
So if you don't help again, you have done your part. It's just simple. Yeah, the expectation that okay, with this I've tried,
Yeah.
you should be able to do something. Fine. And that's his own return. You understand? So it's not personal.
So having this keenness for generosity, how d- how did it? What was your experience when you started having money? When you blew, became a celebrity, you started having money, and now the expectation of the world is that you have to help.
Okay. First of all, when I blew and I started making money, I went broke.
You went broke.
I went broke. So broke. In fact, I've been broke so many times because I'm trying to support people. You understand? I'm trying to like see people around me happy. I've been so many times I've been low on cash just because